Hello everyone, this is our idea from Advanced Mechanics and welcome to another episode of Know Your Car. So in this week's episode, I'm going to be talking about a very special box housing a lot of fuses that protects most of the electric components on your car. So as always, without any waste of time, let's get into the video. So the box I'm going to be talking about today is called a fuse box. A fuse box is basically a safety box that contains different types of fuses. But before I go any further, I just want to simply explain what a fuse is. A fuse is basically an electric safety device that protects a circuit from excessive current. It does this by breaking the circuit when the current exceeds the specific limit. An electric fuse contains a small wire that melts when excessive current flows through it, resulting in the circuit breaking and protecting the component. A fuse is a safety device that protects important and expensive electric parts on your car in a case of excessive current or a circuit short. So it is basically designed to cut the flow of current by blowing up, preventing expensive electric components from damage. A fuse box contains different types of fuses with different types of ratings. The rating of the fuse is determined by the circuit it's protecting. For example, a 5 amp fuse protects low current components like the dashboard clock, interior lights, and other non-essential electric components found inside the car. While a 25 amp fuse protects high current components like the headlights, the radiator cooling fan, and different electric motors on your car. A fuse box is typically located inside the engine bay or underneath the dashboard, either on the driver's or passenger's side. Now you know how an electric fuse works. What are some of the problems that can characterize a blown fuse? So a blown fuse will cause the circuit it's protecting not to work. And what I mean is this: when the fuse protecting the electric fuel pump blows up, the fuel pump is not going to work, and this will cause your car not to start. But then you may ask, how do you check a blown electric fuse? There are quite a number of ways you can check your electric fuse, but one method you can use is physically inspecting the fuse. And by the way, this method is so simple, there are no special tools needed, you can do it right at home. So the first thing you have to do is that you have to locate your fuse box, open the fuse box, and pay close attention to the cover because that's what will direct you which fuse controls which circuit. After figuring out which circuit, there is usually a fuse removing tool inside the fuse box, and if you can't find that tool, you can use a needle nose pliers or a long nose pliers to pull out the fuse. Carefully inspect the fuse. A good fuse looks like this, and a blown fuse looks like this. And when replacing the fuse, make sure the amperage is the same with the replacement fuse. Putting a small fuse on a high current circuit will cause that fuse to frequently blow up, and putting a high amp fuse on a low current circuit will not protect that circuit.